I'm Cecilia Louie of Paper Zen. In this video, I just wanted to show you what it's like to quill the 7-day quilling curve challenge using conventional quilling paper. So just like in the other video, I'm going to be making some 2-inch strips, and because it's so thin, I'm just going to tear the strips rather than cut them. Now that my strips are ready, let's get started on the first shape. I'm going to grip on my left and place the strip between my forefinger and my tool and just drag along. It's going to create that gentle curve that you see here. And then I'm going to flip it on the other side and do the same treatment on that end. When I place it against the shape, I see that it's a bit too curved, and that's not a problem. I'll just simply straighten it a little bit using my fingers. For the next shape, we're going to do the scraping technique, which is just the same as softening, just a little bit more friction between the finger and the tool. And you'll see that it creates a sharper curve. And we'll flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. And that's pretty much a match. Okay, let's start on the rubbing now. And rubbing is basically focused friction in one area. To start, I'm just going to soften both ends. And now, depending on what kind of curve you're looking for, you can certainly use the diameter of the tool handle itself to create the rubbing. And you can see that it just creates, a different kind of shape. But in the case of this shape, we want one that's a lot more of a curve. So I'm actually going to use my needle and just gently press into your finger, the fleshy part of your finger, and rub back and forth. And as you do, you can see the two ends coming closer together, and that's the kind of curve that we're looking for. And now for the S curve. Just like with the C curve in softening, we're just going to grip the paper, turn it around, and in C curve we turn that way, but this time we're going to turn this way for the S curve. So I can tell that that's a bit too much curve, so I'm just going to smoothen that out a bit with my fingers, and let's just see how that matches up now. Okay, a little bit of shaping here just to smoothen it out some more, and maybe just straighten that part out, and there we've got our match. Okay, now the S curve with the scraping technique. First, I'm just going to soften both sides, a little bit stronger than softening, I guess. And sometimes I'll go over the same area several times just to start scraping it a little bit harder. And my eyes are going to sort of see, does that strip take on that shape, that kind of thing. And then I'll put it down to match. And okay, maybe a little bit more on that side. And check it again, and that's about there. Okay, now for the last shape, we're going to rub the S curve. And I'm just going to start with softening both sides, and then I'm just going to rub back and forth just on this half of the strip and place it down and see how close did I get. And I can see here that the curve needs to happen a little bit more towards the right. So I'm going to pick it up and just rub a little bit more, just a little bit closer to the right hand side, and see how does that look. And that's better. Now I need to do the opposite side, and it's the same curve on either way, so you can flip it around whichever way you need. So just like the opposite side, we're just going to rub back and forth and see how close do we get. We're getting there. And just a little bit more on that side. And let's compare. And just a little bit out on that direction. And it can feel a little fussy, but this is what practice is all about. And sometimes, Sometimes it's not just for the tool, I'll compress it with my fingers just to achieve the shape that I'm looking for. There you go. Now let's coat our strip with glue, and when we go to glue it down, I'm going to do it with the left hand side first while keeping the right side up in the air. And once I settle it down on the left, then I can guide my right side and then gently press and work my way along. The same gluing technique holds true for any of the shapes, and just a bit of practice will help you settle your shapes down on your sheet. I hope you found this challenge helpful in learning how to shape these curves with 3 simple techniques. It's because of your comments and feedback that I'm inspired to keep making these tutorials, so please tell me how it's helped you in the comments below. Till next time, thanks for watching!